Right then, this is a walk around video, and this is for a Honda Accord 2-litre EX automatic. As you can see here, finished in lovely gunmetal grey with black leather interior, and has these optional Delta alloys fitted from new as part of the Honda options list at the time. Car's really lovely example. It's been beautifully looked after as well mechanically, really has, and is in fantastic condition. Front there you can see lights and lenses are completely clear and intact. There's no cracks or condensation in any of those. Front of the car is very, very, very clean, as is the bonnet, which I can hardly see a stone chip of any notes anywhere in there at all. It's looked very, very hard indeed. Come down the near side of the car first, and it's pretty much mirror smooth in the panels there. Can't see any indentations, car parking dinks or otherwise. Front wing absolutely unmarked. Near side front alloy really, really good. Worth pointing out, there's a brand new set of tyres all around on this vehicle, absolutely brand new, and new front brake pads as well. It's just been MOT'd and just been serviced as well, so very well cared for car, this one. Come around the back, so they are a very, very handsome car, they really are. They've aged so well. Just come down there again just to see, the panel look is just extraordinarily good for what is now an 11-year-old car, I guess. Around the back of the car, again all very clean. Around to the offside, driver's side of the car. Again, as with the near side, it is absolutely mirror smooth on those panels. Just continues down. I always point out, and at the end of the day, whilst it is exceptionally clean, there will be the odd little mark on the car the camera hasn't picked up on, or I haven't spotted, pardon me. So please do bear that in mind. But the car, given the age and mileage, is in absolutely superb condition. Coming inside the car now, I mean, it is, as with the exterior, in just absolutely astonishing condition. It has just been wonderfully, wonderfully kept. Rear seats given absolutely minimal use, and there's no sort of nasty skags or scrapes on any of the plastics back here either. The door guard on the side again, absolutely fantastic. All the recesses have been kept really, really, really well. And then coming inside the front passenger seat, again, just looks pretty much as new. So finally just come to the driver's door. All the electric controls in here sort of bunched together, which is good ergonomically. And then driver's seat, which is again absolutely super condition. The only way you're going to see, obviously, on the driver's seat is where people sort of slide the backside in and out there on the, but that's exactly how it should be on this age of mileage. So sat inside the car now, engine's running through this section of the video, so you can see the dashboard illuminated, and the dashboard, to all intents and purposes, just looks absolutely brand new. It's in stunning condition. Sat nav, you can see there, working absolutely perfectly. If I pop the car into reverse, got that lovely clear colour camera at the back there, but it's just the quality of the switch gear, and it's just the condition, which is rare to see on this age car. Heated seats all working absolutely perfectly. Obviously gearbox lever. You have the paddles on the steering wheel on these as well, albeit rarely used, but they do work. You can see there, 66,478 miles, no warning lights on the dashboard at all. Auto lights, auto wipers, and your multifunction steering wheel with audio control, cruise control, information display, and hands-free functions on there. But as I said, all in absolutely fantastic condition. Right then, this is a quick road test video. And this is for a Honda Accord, and it's a 2-litre EX automatic. Registration number of this particular car is SK58TSZ. Mileage at the start of the road test is 66,431 miles. Basically, the reason we do the videos is essentially so people who are looking at the car in an advert actually get to see the vehicle in operation. That way we can relay back any issues that might be on the vehicle prior to coming to see us. Sorry, it's got one of these silly little speed alarms set on the car, so it may beep occasionally, but there's nothing untoward. But yeah, so basically if there's anything not right on the car, you get to know about it before coming to see us. And loads of our customers are coming from not just the UK but over Europe as well, so the least we can do is actually take the time and effort to do this for you. So coming to the car itself, it's obviously been a very, very, very well looked after car. It's had 10 services throughout its life. It's going to go through an independent MOT later today, so all will be in fine fettle, but the engine starts absolutely instantly, of course, being a VTEC engine. They settle to completely smooth, even idle, no fluctuations at all. But it's the way the engines operate. They're very, very, very smooth in operation, very refined. It's a very quiet unit. Only when you only really hear it noticeably when you press on, and then you've got a really lovely soundtrack. So it's not something that's hard on the ears. There's no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine, gearbox, or any part of the vehicle for that matter. Engine then feeds through clutch into gearbox into the automatic gearbox. Sorry, just done a manual video a few minutes ago. The auto box is really well matched to the engine, by the way. Typical Honda gearbox, very smooth in operation, very slick in the gear changes. You should still check the obvious stuff, like there's no dramatic thunks when it engages gear, no harsh gear changes, and of course there isn't on the car at all. It's exactly as it should be. But it really does extract the most out of the engine, both in terms of performance and economy, because these are actually very economical cars. Mid-30s is very easily achieved, and lots of my customers are getting close to 40 out of them. It all depends on your driving style and where you drive, of course, but it is a particularly frugal engine. But in terms of powertrain of the car, all exactly as you'd expect it to be. Steering on the car, which is a real strong point on these Accords, it's very, very nicely done. It's got a lovely weight to it. It's incredibly accurate and precise, but it just flows with the chassis. The two really work brilliantly together, but it's just the right amount of weight to give you a feeling of solidity on the road, but light enough to give you no effort at all in driving the car. I can't feel any wear through the steering either. Track's absolutely bullet straight, and there's no vibrations going back through the steering wheel at all. Chassis of the car, which I've always maintained this is one of the best chassis in its class, because it achieves a couple of things that some cars just don't do. It manages to combine a really comfortable, very well damped ride, but still with a real agility. There's very few cars in this class, and certainly in this age, probably only a 3 Series I think has its kind of verve to the chassis, but they're much harder riding. Things like A4 and C-Class, as nice as they are, they're comfortable cars, but they don't have the agility that these have. They really don't. What I'm also looking for on road test is any kind of sort of signs of sort of any noises coming through the chassis of the vehicle. It shouldn't be there from the suspension, and notably things like when you hit a bump, you'll hear it in a bump like there, but you shouldn't get any sort of metallic kind of clink 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 clinks going on. And this one's exactly as it should be. There's no noises at all. It's just a lovely, lovely car to drive on all sorts of roads. Sort of if you're thundering up through the sort of mountain passes, it's really rewarding. But if you just want to drive along sedately, as I am now, it's very comfortable. Very, very, very nice car. I'll come to the brakes of the car in a minute. I know they felt really good when I pressed them earlier, but I'll just do it on the move. I did it earlier, but I mean, it's hard. It's always the lady in front's going a little bit slower. While I'm looking for the brake, just making sure when you hit the brake pedal, it's not pulling violently to the left or right under braking, and this one is absolutely spot on. And also there's no kind of pulsing or vibrations coming back through the brake pedal, and again, this one's exactly as it should be. It's the brakes feel very, very good on the car indeed. Looking around inside the vehicle, it's not been touched or cleaned yet, but the car is really lovely. They're so I'm just going to zip past. They've just got a lovely driving position, very natural, but as soon as you get in and drive the car, it just has a lovely feeling of solidity. I mean, we are looking at a car that's now 11 years old, but certainly doesn't look like it inside. Not just the styling and the equipment that's in here and the tech, but just the feeling. It just feels a solid car to drive. They are quite beautifully put together cars. Dash itself is simplicity. You've got this huge sat-nav screen up high, which you hardly have to take your eyes off the road to see, and it's shrouded well, so you get very little glare on sort of sunnier days. But every button you press has that lovely actuation, feeling of quality about it, which Honda do so well. But it's a lovely specification car. Everything's working as it should, by the way. The air conditioning, heated seats, all the dials, readouts, everything's working absolutely spot on. But just a really nice place to drive. Dashboard in front, typical Honda, nice big legible dials. By the way, temperature gauge is running as a third, which is exactly where it should be on a Honda car as well, by the way. But it just makes for a car that you can just jump in and drive. It's not overly complicated, albeit it is very highly equipped. Seats are very comfortable indeed, and I suffer with bad backs, but I've used these to do very long trips. And the multitude of adjustments you got on them means you can get very comfortable indeed. As I said at the start of the video, I mean, the point of these videos is to pick up on issues, no matter how small they may be, but in all honesty, this, given how well it has been looked after, it comes as absolutely no surprise to find that the car drives, genuinely, absolutely superbly. I can't find anything that merits a mention. We've been selling Hondas for over 20 years, and I used to work for the Honda dealership selling these brand new, so I know exactly how they're meant to drive, so I've got no excuses if someone comes to see me and I say I didn't realise that was the case. I do know, and this is a really fine example of a very nice car indeed. However, if you've got any questions, as always, please don't hesitate, do give us a call.